I'm going to delete this copy paste and replace it with a for loop. So I'm going to start counting from 0 again and count until all of the platforms. As you know, there are 3 and they are with indexes 0, 1 and 2. And I can use the existing index variable which platform to use, or I can create a new variable with which I can have really easy to understand code if its name says that this variable will count the drawn platforms. So I will create the variable platform to draw, and everybody who sees my loop, my for, will understand that this for will count platforms and it is going to draw them. So I hope that it's really easy to understand. Platform to draw will increase until it's 3. So it is going to increase by 1. And I'm going to use it here and here. And again, my line of code doesn't fit. I will write it like this, and yeah, it's kind of fine. You can see that it's a little bit nested, a little bit more nested than the for. And let's see whether all my platforms are still drawn. Whoa, I don't see any platforms. And I even think that I was able to step on a platform for a while. So apparently my platforms do work, kind of, but they are totally not drawn. So I can add the console log here to see whether my for is executed at all. And I'm going to not print just random text, but also the index of platform to be drawn. And yeah, let's see what is going on now. So I can see that my for is not executed for any of the platforms. And apparently I have to fix something in it. I thought that it is executed from platform 0 until every next platform up to the 3rd, but actually, if you see what I've written here, I am checking whether platform to draw is bigger than 3, and this is not true even in the beginning. What if I change the initial value of platform to draw to 4? This is going to be true in the beginning, so I can refresh my browser. And I don't see any platforms now too, because I've made a really stupid change. I don't want to count from 4 increasing by 1 while platform to draw is bigger than 3, because it is going to always be bigger than 3 if it starts from 4. So the real fix here is to start from 0 and to increase platform to draw while it's smaller than 3. And let's see what is going on now. You can see that I will have difficulties stopping this browser. I was lucky and it was able to close. So now I can see all my platforms, and I'm kind of happy with the way they are drawn. So I'm about to start giving you homework tasks, and one of those tasks is to remove the last copy paste in our code. The easy solution for which values, how to give different interesting values for our platforms, is just to use random numbers. So instead of this code, could we just write platform x to be equal to mat random multiplied by 800? Let's see whether this is going to work. I can also keep our old code for platform y's, so I will delete this and this. And what if I write here mat random multiplied by 800? Will this work? Let's see. Well, you can see that something is really wrong with my drawing, probably. But you can see that not only the drawing is wrong, because I was able to step on platforms and now I'm not, and apparently something is wrong. My old console logs in Draw are working perfectly, so apparently I don't need to print anything here anymore. Instead, I want to understand not what is the problem with the drawing, but what is the problem with platform X and platform Y. I can print here any index of the array platform Y, and I can print here the element with any index of the array platform Y, just like this. And I can also print the whole array like this, and you can see how it's printed. It's really convenient and useful to see all of the members of an array. But I should be really careful to never use the whole array just as a single variable, because there is a danger that I will break this array, and instead I will use it just like a single variable. By the way, that's exactly what happened to platform X. As you can see here, I'm not giving any index in a square brackets, so the whole array platform X that I created here is now just a single variable, and you can see that it's not printed like an array of variables, array of values. Instead, it's just a single value. So if I wanted this to work, I should have put square brackets like this, and now I have just a single platform on the same X all of the time. If I want, I can copy this line of code here and here, and if I'm careful, just like I am not now, just like I wasn't right now, I could have had 3 working platforms, but instead I have only 2, and you can see that platform X is now an array, but one of its values is really ugly, and the other 2 values in the array are nice. So don't do any mistakes like I did, and actually don't use any copy paste like I'm still doing. This is your second task of your homework. Your first task is also to give a random X to a platform that has just teleported from up back to down. So here in this if, you should not only give a new value to platform Y of the current platform, but also to platform X, give a random value. Task 3 is to make the game being able to be over if the player is too much up or too much down. Let's print game over, or actually stop the game in some way. For example, stop the platforms, stop the movement of platforms after game over is a subtask of task 3. As the time passes, I want you to increase the number of platforms. This is not going to affect just a single place in our code, because if we are going to have a lot of new platforms, we have to move all of them, we have to teleport all of them, and we have to check for a collision with the player for all of them. Not only in the update, we also have to do specific things for the drawing of all of the new platforms. We will have to write a specific code that creates a new platform. All of this will need a variable, for example, platforms count, and this variable should increase with time, and this variable should be used in each for loop that do something for all of the platforms. In task 5, I want to change this game from rapid row to doodle jump, which is a game in which the platforms immediately send us up to the sky as a new jump, just like they are trampolines. And if we are going to create a doodle jump game, then we are going to have to change the behavior of the platforms or the camera, because in doodle jump, not the platforms are moving with a constant speed, but instead the camera is following the player, and the platforms are going down if the player is going up. So you will have to change a lot of stuff for this subtask, task 5, if you are able. As you know, only the first few tasks are really urgent, and the next tasks will have some difficult parts, and this is definitely a difficult part. Perhaps a simpler task is task 6. You can probably do it before task 5. I want the platforms to have unique size, and if each platform will have its own size, then apparently we will have our third array, for example, platform size. And on each teleporting of a platform, we should choose a new value for platform size. In task 7 and task 8, I want you to make killer platforms. Those are platforms that are drawn in a different color, for example red, and when the player collides with them, he cannot step on them or jump. Instead, he loses lives, or for example loses the whole game. And I want you to do this feature in two different ways. In task 7, my advice is to have two new arrays, killer platform X and killer platform Y. You will have to write some functionalities about the killer platforms again, like teleporting of a platform, moving of a platform, a killer platform, drawing of a killer platform, collision check for a killer platform, few of those codes are going to be different for the keyword platforms and different for a regular platform, but most of those codes you will have to copy and paste, and this is really horrible. Even if we go back to task 6, you will have to copy and paste the addition for not only have platform size but also keyword platform size. So your code is really going to be really huge in task 7. So task 8 is the better idea that I will offer you how to do this game, how to have keyword platforms. Having keyword platforms is going to be easier if instead of many new arrays we have only one new array is the platform keyword, and this array, because of the English word is in the starting of its name, apparently will hold a values that cannot be 15 or 500 or 5000 or 3 or 17. Apparently the values in this array are going to be just true or false, and those two possible values are going to be used in the rare cases in which it is important whether this platform is a keyword or not. Such cases are whether when the platform is colliding with the player and when we draw the platform. But in all the other cases, we don't care what kind of platform we have. We don't care what kind of platform is the platform when we are checking for a collision, when we are moving or teleporting the platform. We only need to check what kind of a platform this is when there is already a collision between the player and the platform, and when we draw the platform. Those are the only two cases in which the platform keyword is going to be used, and we will have specific code for the keyword and the regular platform. As you always, you can also do task 9 or 900, and it is create your own game. With our current new knowledge, we can make really a lot of new games. I hope you realize that so far we were not able to have really a lot of enemies or a lot of places or a lot of brick or a lot of things to take. Now, with our new knowledge, you can create a lot of different game ideas, and I hope you to do them without copy and paste and without going in any other too hard tasks or impossible tasks. You can think of an easy game idea, and I will be really proud if you complete your own game ideas with our new knowledge arrays.